Okay, so Sean O'Malley just pulled off one of the biggest moments in probably UFC history. I mean, people are going to remember that right hand from Sean O'Malley for the next 20, 30 years. And not just because it was a beautiful right hand, perfectly timed, but the stage it was on, who he did it to, all of those factors combined just make it such a huge moment for the UFC, for Sean O'Malley, for Montana, because I live in Montana, so it's a big deal for me and everybody around me, because if you don't know, Sean O'Malley is also from Montana. So anyways, if you didn't see my reaction to the fight, here it is in 3, 2, 1.
There we go, Sugar. There we go. Way to get out. Let's go. Let's go. Beautiful takedown defense. If Sterling gets stuffed like once or twice, he might panic.
Round two, Sterling.
Oh, get out, get out. Go. It's over, it's over, it's over, it's over. Go, go. Yes, yes. Let's go.
Now that you know what happened, which I'm sure 99.9% of the people who click on this video knew already what happened, but now that you know just a little bit of my opinion on it, what I want to talk about in this video is what's next for Sean O'Malley. There's obviously a lot of people talking about what Sean O'Malley needs to do next, which I'm sure he's not going to have another fight scheduled for probably a couple months, because he probably needs a little time to take a break, you know, get his weight back up and get ready to cut back down. But I've seen a lot of people talking about Merab, Corey Sandhagen, and obviously Sean O'Malley called out Chito Vera after the fight. He said, did Chito win tonight? And Chito did win. So I'm guessing that ensures that Sean wants to fight Chito again. Which, if you don't know, Sean O'Malley and Chito Vera already fought. It was a weird fight because the first part of it, O'Malley looked good. Chito Vera he looked alright. He was keeping up with O'Malley, you know, competing with him. But I mean, you would definitely, if you watch the fight, think Sean O'Malley's the better fighter. And then then Chito Vera kicks O'Malley's leg, which just sets a nerve off on O'Malley's leg, which makes it so he can't use that leg anymore, and every time he takes a step it kind of folds, which it's a loss. I mean, I know O'Malley does this every time Bruce Buffer announces the one loss to his record, but it is a loss, which it's not like a devastating loss, just because it's not like Chito Vera was the better fighter. He just it was a freak of nature moment. O'Malley's leg just shut off. Chito Vera made his leg shut off, but it wasn't like a huge leg kick or anything. So I would like to see that unsettled business with those two, Chito Vera and Sugar, because that, in my opinion, would be a pretty good fight. I feel like O'Malley would for sure get that win. I feel like O'Malley's the better striker. He is good enough to defend Chito Vera's takedown. Chito Vera doesn't have the best grappling. He's not like an amazing grappler or anything, but he's not a bad grappler. But anyways, that's the first fighter who I think Sean O'Malley most likely will fight. But if he wasn't to fight Chito, I'd probably think he would fight Merab instead of Corey Sandhagen, simply because Merab is the number one. If there was no Aljamain Sterling, he probably would have already got a title shot, and obviously he didn't accept the title shot because him and Sterling are like super good friends, good training partners. But Merab is super dominant wrestler on like a 10 fight win streak. Him and O'Malley would be another Aljamain Sterling versus O'Malley. I could see that fight going the same way, but I could also see Merab doing what people thought Sterling was going to do to O'Malley. that's another fight. If that does happen, super tough fight for both fighters. It's going to be hard for Merab to get a hold of O'Malley before he cracks him like he did to Sterling, but it's also going to be hard for O'Malley to not get taken down by Merab, because Merab is not afraid to shoot. Obviously, if you watch the Peter Yan Merab fight, Merab just diving at his legs. I mean, it was like the most takedown attempts in UFC history or something crazy like that. But anyways, that would be another big fight, huge fight. But if that doesn't happen, if those two fights don't happen, I feel like the most logical answer would be Corey Sandhagen, because the two, I'm pretty sure, two tallest bantamweights are Sean O'Malley and Corey Sandhagen. Two super tall and lengthy fighters, both really good striking, really flashy striking, and I'd probably give the edge on striking to O'Malley, but I'd probably give the edge to grappling on Sandhagen. Sandhagen just kind of had a snooze fest like the other week. He dominated the fight, but he also just grappled the guy, which was kind of boring, but if he fights O'Malley, I don't think he'll be able to dominate him like that. Actually, I couldn't see that. I mean, Sandhagen might be able to take him down, but I do not see him being able to just hold him on the ground, because O'Malley's actually, like, he gets taken down, but his ability to get up after being taken down is actually really impressive. But anyways, those are my three options on who I think O'Malley should fight next. If none of those actually happen, I mean, maybe Cejudo. What I would like to see is if those three fights somehow for some reason can't work, I guess, I don't really know how they or why they wouldn't work, but if they didn't, I would like to see Henry Cejudo and Umar Nurmagomedov, which I don't know if Umar deserves it, but if he beats Henry, I feel like he definitely deserves a title shot. So in case those three fights don't work, winner of that fights O'Malley, which I don't think that will happen. But anyways, that's probably gonna end it. O'Malley, congratulations to him, and I also want to say huge shout out to Aljamain Sterling. I mean, he was an amazing champion. I hate the Boston fans, man. Like, even Celtics fans are so bad, so toxic, but the fans at the UFC 292 event were just so, like, terrible. Like, they were just saying F Aljamain Sterling, or they were just chanting that, or F Aljo, or something like that. And then Aljo gets knocked out, is like giving O'Malley credit after his post-fight interview, and the fans start booing him. I'm like, what are you booing him about? He was an amazing champion, one of the best bantamweights, if not the best bantamweight of all time, and they're booing him. Like, I'm a huge O'Malley fan. He's probably my favorite fighter. He's been my favorite fighter for the last, I don't know, year. But you can't not respect what Aljamain Sterling has done. So I just want to say, Boston fans are not very good fans. But anyways, huge shout out to both fighters doing something that 99.99999% of people would never do. So I will see you next video.